Easy to knit, beautiful, fluffy and lightweight. You need it. Knit it up. The bow on the one ribbon on an elastic band without sewing. The ribbon is about 50 cm long and 7 cm wide. We will also need an elastic band to tie the bow to. The yarn I knitted with. This yarn requires 4.5 mm knitting needles. Approximate consumption of this yarn. This is viscose 64% and alpaca 36%. The yarn is shiny and at the same time is fluffy. You can knit very nice bows from kid mohair with silk. So take your favorite knitting needles and in any convenient way we cast on 3 stitches. We transfer the working yarn to the front and knit them like a purl stitches. In general, the bow is knitted in garter stitch. This means that each row is knitted with purl stitches. In the first row, purl all the stitches, and we turn the work around. We slip the first stitch to the working needle as an edge stitch. It's very important in what way. Pay attention, the working thread must be before work. We insert the needle behind the back thread of our stitch. And we move it. The working thread is before work. We knit the next 2 stitches a purl. From the next row we will start adding stitches. So, the row 3. Turn the work, the yarn in front. Slip the first stitch. And right linen increase the first stitch. With the left needle lift the strand between 2 stitches from back to front and purl it. And work with a purl stitches to the end of row. Turn the work, slip the first edge stitch. And now the fourth row. All stitches are purled without adding new stitches. Repeat rows 3 and 4 until you have 16 stitches on the needle. Plus 2 edge stitch and we have 18 stitches on total. And again the third row. From the beginning of the work, this is 5th row. What we needed is the third, and we slip the edge stitch. With the left needle, lift the strand between 2 stitches from back to front and purl it. Purl to the end of the row. And 6th row from the beginning of the work, but we need it as a fourth. Slip 1 edge stitch. All stitches are purled without adding new stitches. That is, we knit odd rows as the third row. Even rows are knitted as the fourth row. Again a row of increases. Slip the first stitch. With the left needle, lift the strand between two stitches from back to front and purl it. Purl all stitches to the end of row. Eighth even row. All stitches are purled without adding new stitches. Here we have 18 stitches on the knitting needles. So then we knit all the rows without increasing a stitch, just with purl stitch, back and forth in rotary rows. To the length of the ribbon is about 45 centimeters. By the way, here is such a wedge with the addition of stitches. And at the end of the ribbon we will make a similar wedge. By decreasing the stitches, we will purl two stitches together. And here we have finished our ribbon. It's about 45 centimeters. We arrange our work in such a way that the row begins at an angle of the wedge. Start working on the wedge at the end of the band. In the first row, decrease the stitches. We will purl two stitches together. Slip the first edge stitch. Pick up the two stitches together. It's not very convenient because the stitches are purled. Insert the needle behind the back thread of the second stitch and pick up both stitches. Purl it. Next, we purl stitches to the end of the row. This is our first row in which we make a decrease to form a sharp angle at the end of the band. We turn around and work on the second row. Knit all loops purl, no decreases or increases. In the future, we will repeat the first and second row, the first row of decreases and the second according to the pattern. Turn around and you can focus on the beginning wedge, where you had added stitches. From the edge where you added the stitches, we will now decrease their number. Slip the first edge stitch, yarn before work, and pick up the next two stitches. For the second stitch, we purl together. Purl stitches to the end of the row. We repeat with 2 rows until there are 3 stitches left on the needles, and we close them in any convenient way. And now, how I will close my stitches. In a case, you need 1, 2, and cut the thread. Three. I did it. It remains to wave our ends, carry out wet thermal processing, and tie a bow on an elastic band. Here is such a line at the beginning and the end of the wedges. During weeding and drying, you can line them. Here is a beautiful bow waiting for you. Ta-da! And now let's tie our finished stitch. For this we need a straight stitch and an elastic band. Look at my fingers. On the middle finger we wind the stitch. Here you will need to try several times. How many turns to wind? To get the length you need at the end. Here at this moment you should have a tail of about 10 or 12 centimeters. We put a rubber band on it. And again an important moment. Find a hole in the knot and thread the tail through it. Straighten the second end. And with such a way of pulling the stitch from there and back, we align our bow. The result is a large bow 9 centimeters wide. Final tightening. Pay attention to the opposite ends. Just take it and tighten. Important about this bow. Fabric with alternating roll, purl and knit stitches. It doesn't twist, unlike the only knit stitches surface. The edge is worked with the transfer of yarn to the front. This also avoids twisting. To make the bow airy and not heavy, choose needles of a larger number. To make the bow look transparent like this. Thank you for your attention and knit with pleasure. See you soon!